if I was still a financial advisor, like it just blows my mind that I could be creating content, getting paid to create that content to then drive leads to my business as well.
Welcome to the My Wife Quit Her Job podcast. Today, I am thrilled to have my good friend, Jeff Rose, back on the show. And if you do not remember him, he is the founder of Good Financial Sense and probably one of the earliest personal finance bloggers to turn content into a seven-figure business. I spent over a decade as a certified financial planner, built a massive blog back a decade ago, I want to say, and eventually walked away from his wealth management firm when his online business was kicking butt and making way more than what he was doing with his practice. Now, on paper, he did everything right, and then the internet changed. AI happened. It happened to me too. And the business that he thought was going to go forever all of a sudden stopped working, similar to mywifequitterjob.com. But Jeff's superpower is his ability to adapt. And I want to say it's the last couple of years, he discovered Facebook monetization. And we're not talking about like long form videos here. We're talking about just posts. And what started out as an experiment now makes him tens of thousands of dollars per month, reaching hundreds of millions of views while just spending a couple hours a day creating very simple content. And I'm very curious. Today, Jeff is going to teach us how he does it. What's up, man? Good to have you back.
What is going on?
So catch us up real quick.
You just brought up some stuff about AI and SEO and just brought up a lot of PTSD.
Yeah, well, I have it too. I spent like 15 years on that blog, hard work, writing the posts and everything. And then one technology comes out and it just goes down the drain.
Yeah, that forever business dried up pretty quick.
Yeah, but we've got other stuff going on. I mean, I've got YouTube, you've got this Facebook thing, and catch us up. What's been going on? Because we haven't chatted in, I want to say, a couple of years. We used to see each other like every year at least, minimum. And then, you know, we were in the same mastermind group and that sort of thing. What's been going on?
Yeah, no, I mean, on the business front, man, like you just said, the blog just got decimated and tried several different things to try to revive it, you know, just updating content strategy. I went on I guess call it a marketing spree, but basically like using Quoted to get Jeff Rose, Good Financial Sense, you know, in the media. I forgot the number, but I think it was 1 month. Like I was able to get quoted like, I'm going to make up a number here. It was 100 or 200 times or something. Wow. Something ridiculous. Like, I mean, I went all in thinking like, okay, what can I do to get Good Financial Sense relevant in the search? And basically, long story short, everything that I did not work. It just flopped. I'm like, gosh, like this thing is just done. And it's funny because I still have monetization on the blog. I think it was last month. You know, this is a website that used to make several $100,000 a month. I think last month made me $180.
No, you're talking about just like display ads?
Display ads, yeah.
Oh, man, brutal.
Passive income, baby.
I turned that off a long time ago.
So yeah, man. So that just began this journey of like, man, what am I going to do now? You know, I was a financial planner for 16 years. Like you said, sold that business, had the blog. You know, gratefully sold a minority stake, so I was able to take that and invest it. So, you know, there was investments, there were savings that were there. But, you know, I'm in my mid-40s. I'm like, I'm not done yet. You know, what am I going to do? And started trying to grow like a coaching business, like specifically growing a business coaching, trying to find entrepreneurs that are making like 250 plus, but just struggling finding purpose, something that I could relate to a lot. And so I'm growing that. We're trying to grow that. And then I'm posting on Facebook, not really for anything. I actually was growing, my wife, she started a Instagram business, trying to teach businesses how to grow on Instagram. And I'm like, I really have nothing else going on. So maybe I'll use Instagram to grow my coaching business or something. I don't know. So I just start posting over there, doing 1 or 2 reels per day. With really no clear strategy, right? Like there's no, I mean, it's just, I'm posting to post. As I'm doing that, you know, it asks me like, oh, do you want to cross post over to Facebook, which Instagram is J. Jeff Rose. So more of like a personal, but not branded to Good Financial Sense. But then I have my Good Financial Sense Facebook page synced to it or linked to it. So I'm like, do you want to cross post to Facebook? I'm like, okay, sure. Why not? I've already created it. Might as well. and once again, no clear strategy. And then after doing that for a while, I had one reel that did okay on Instagram, but it got like several 100,000 views on Facebook.
Wow.
And but because I was using copyrighted music, I didn't make any money from it. But still, I'm like, well, that's funny. Like, I'm not even trying to grow Facebook. I didn't think people even were over there still, at that point in time, it's my least favorite social media platform. So it's just like interesting. Like, wow, I posted over there, I get several 100,000 views. Like, I haven't got several 100,000 views on anything, in a while. So I'm like, oh, that's curious. And then it wasn't until I think this was May? There was a tweet. I'm still going to call it a tweet that I thought was funny. And I took a screenshot of it and I shared it on my Facebook page. And once again, there was nothing finance, I guess, kind of finance related. It was a screenshot of somebody ordering something off DoorDash. But, I wasn't trying to teach a financial lesson. It wasn't like talking about wealth building. I just thought it was funny. Posted on my Facebook page. And then, like I said, I don't even remember this. I don't know like when I got approved for, at that time, it would have been a performance bonus. I don't know if I was grandfathered in since I had the page for so long. But next thing I know, I see I have some earnings that I'm going to get paid on. And I'm like, wait, get paid on what? What am I going to get paid on? And it was this post and another post where I guess I had some views and like Facebook was going to pay me $137 for 2 screenshots essentially.
Crazy.
And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, at that point in time, like, yes, I've got paid on YouTube, never been paid for a podcast other than sponsorships. But other than like creating the blog for the AdSense, I've never created anything on social where I got paid that wasn't a video. So I'm like, well, this is interesting, fascinating. So then the next month, I knew that there was a post that I had posted, I think earlier that year. It was a Taylor Swift post. I'm like, all right. I'm going to post this because I knew it went viral before. Let me see what I can do. So I posted on my Facebook page, and that post made me like $500. And I'm like, what the heck, right? So I think I got it all figured out. I got the strategy. Next month I made $180. Like, okay, maybe I don't have it figured out. And I wish I could tell you that I ran with it. Like I saw the writing on the wall. This is an amazing opportunity. It still was like this side thing, right? Like I still didn't take it seriously. I'm still trying to grow this coaching business. So I'm still going to post because I'm like, hey, if it makes me a couple $100 a month, whatever, just for a little extra time. And I think it was finally that December, I had my first 5-figure month. I just, barely, I think it was like 10 grand I made doing reels and essentially screenshots or, image posts. Once again, wish I could tell you that I took it seriously, but I think it was like that spring, I posted something. It was a parody post. You probably saw it. It was like a picture of a Temu factory. I might be mispronouncing that. Temu, a factory burning. And it said, breaking, Temu factory on fire. They lost $19 of total inventory or something like that. It was meant to be funny, right? It's like my total sense of humor, dry sense of humor, posted that, and it got fact checked on Facebook, which basically meant at that time I got dinged, and it basically said that my distribution had been decreased because I'm sharing false information. And I'm like, really, for real? And that was super triggering for me. Being a former financial planner and dealing with compliance, I just saw that and I'm like, screw this. This is stupid. Yeah, I'll continue to post, but I really don't care. So I just kind of wrote it off. And then I don't know, a few months went by, and there was a guy that I follow on Facebook, and he posts like 25 to 50 times per day. And I noticed that, I'm like, gosh, that just seemed insane to me. I found this guy on YouTube that talked about Facebook monetization, and he basically confirmed, like, if you have a page that has a decent following, you have to assume that like less than 5% of your following actually are going to see anything that you post. So that's why you post as much as you do. And at that point in time, I'm like, okay, I've never really taken this seriously. What would it look like if I actually had a clear strategy of posting, being intentional what I post, how much I post, like what would that look like? And I think that was I think it was April or May of this past year. So almost a year later, a year after the first $137 that I made, I go quote unquote all in. And that first month, I think I made like 10 or 15,000. And then I'm maybe missing a month. I think the next month it was 20,000. Then I hit 30, 30, 30. I'm like,
Crazy.
what is going on? Like what is going on? So it's been fun. It feels like, as we were talking before this, like it feels a lot like blogging back in the day, when you could write anything, almost anything, it would rank, you make some money, that's what it feels like. So it's been a little bit of finding a lot of screenshots either on X or Threads or Reddit. I want to do a little bit more branding. So there is like, creating some images in Canva that has like a template that feels like it's a part of like the Good Financial Sense Jeff Rose brand. Some quote style images, like just invoking some thought leadership. And yeah, man, it's just been fun to kind of discover this, and also just seeing so many other pages in so many other niches, that are crushing it. It's been fun to see.
And just to be clear, this is Facebook, right? Not
Facebook.
Instagram. We're talking Facebook.
No, yeah, like Instagram. At least for me right now, like I would get paid to post images on Instagram. They took away their Reels bonus. It'd be cool if they brought it back. But yeah, as of right now, this is all strictly it. Up until September the 1st, Facebook had ads on Reels. They had breakthrough bonuses. They had performance bonuses. That all of that has been rolled up into their content monetization program. So right now, that is what it's called. So in that, you get paid for images, text posts, Reels, long form videos, stories. They also have subscriptions, which I really don't do. You can send stars, which I really don't track. And within that, they'll also give you performance bonuses, which is stupid to me. Like you're going to pay me a bonus on top of paying me to post content. Like, okay.
All right. So I have a page. I think it has a 100,000. I don't even check. I don't even go on Facebook anymore. But how do I have this? How do I turn this on? Like, is it on by default or?
So for what I've seen for like legacy pages, kind of like yours, I don't know if I just got grandfathered in. I've talked to a lot of people that have had a page that is like, say, 5 years old or 10 pages or older. It seems like, and they have like I'll say a decent following. It seems like it's easier for them to get accepted because it is an invite only. You may actually have access to it. You just haven't said, yes, I want to be in. That's what I've seen with several people. It's just like just clicking a button. For others,
it's invite only.
It is invite only. Okay. Correct.
All right.
Yeah. For others, it's weird, man. Like I've seen like newer pages like get accepted pretty quickly. I've seen pages that have like 20,000 followers and they're posting and they still haven't been invited yet. There really isn't like a method to the madness. But generally, what we've seen, at least what I've seen, is like Facebook finally released something like their monetization policies, where if you're a new page, you have to post for at least 30 days before they'll even consider you. And you also you want to demonstrate. I think of it kind of like an audition, right? It's like, why would Facebook want to invite you if you're not posting consistently, if you're not posting content that people are engaging with? If you're just posting a bunch of crap that just for the sake of posting, most likely you won't get accepted. Maybe you will. I don't know, but generally like it's all about engagement. Which the thing for me that I'm most fascinated by is, I think what you experience on YouTube, like, with your ad revenue, I've always assumed that if you're in the investing space or business space, your RPMs or CPMs are going to be much higher, just because of the advertisers.
Right.
And initially, like, that's what I just assumed with my Facebook page, because, being in the finance space. And then when I started doing a lot of research and a lot of pages, not all pages do this, but like they'll actually post their earnings, So anytime I came across a page that shared their earnings, I would always save it and bookmark it, just like I'm just curious, right? So just started building this like library. And it is so fascinating to see pages that, for example, like mom blogs, right? Like the mom blogs are now on Facebook, posting long form content like with an image. And, mom bloggers making, 10,000, 15,000, sometimes 20,000 a month. And they're just writing long form blog posts with an image. And they're posting quite a bit as well. They're not just doing one and done like a day, but still, like, I'm like, wow, like it has nothing to do with the niche. It has everything to do with, are you getting engagement? Are people commenting? Are they liking? Are they sharing?
Did this replace the blog then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I've seen, because I came across another page that is in the thrifting space, right? So they're going to thrift stores, going to flea markets, reselling the stuff. Like, I wouldn't think that a thrifting page would have a high RPM, but this page, I think they have around 300,000 followers. I think when they shared this, but they made like $22,000 or $24,000 in 1 month from Facebook, just from Facebook.
Right.
That's not core sales. That's not sponsorships or brand deals. Like, that's strictly from Facebook monetization. And like, to me, it's like, gosh, that doesn't even make sense to me that a page that's talking about saving money, which you wouldn't think that type of advertiser would be there, but nonetheless, as of right now, like, it is. So I've seen political pages making, 5 figures, motivational, mom, like dad motivation, how to be a better father, that type of stuff, right? Like, it's all about engagement, man.
Huh. So Facebook can't be making money off of this, right? Are they subsidizing this, or?
Oh, I mean, I'm assuming, right? If they're paying all this money to creators, I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure it's just like AdSense, right? I don't know if it's 50%, we're probably getting a third, and you also have to think, right? If I'm going to make, as an example, like, I posted it was like a stat that talked about the percentage of people that drinking alcohol, or like, I forgot what it was, right? 54% people are drinking less alcohol. It was a text post, right? It is one sentence that I wrote that I hit publish on. And that one sentence, I think it may be like $250 or $300. That's crazy. Amazing, right?
Yes.
It doesn't even make sense. But like, I've also seen people say like, oh, I only made $30, from a text, or I made $5, and it had this many views. I'm like, it's a sentence, like, if they're paying you based off retention, like, yeah, somebody read it, they engaged with it, they liked it, but like, they're not going to spend a lot of time on that post, right? Like, they're going to move on, versus like somebody watching one of your YouTube videos, right? Like, it makes sense that they're going to pay you more. Because I've had certain reels that will get like 1 million views and maybe pay me $30, and like that could be frustrating, but also it's a 6-second reel. Like, people didn't spend a lot of time there. So like, it makes sense to me why they wouldn't pay me as much. But if I got somebody, 1 million people to watch an 8-minute video, like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense that the payouts would be more. So.
All right, you've got me intrigued now. Okay, so let's talk about like the guts here. Okay, so what type of content works? How often do I need to post? Let's start with like the ones that have gone viral for you. What are they? Just give the audience an idea of what types of posts these.
Dude, it's a variety of things. I'll take the easy form for me is I will go to X or Facebook or Threads or Reddit. X is the easy one for me. Gosh, I hate calling it X, man. I don't know what it is, man.
I know. Yeah.
I say it out loud. I'm like, you don't even believe yourself. Just say Twitter. I'll go to Twitter and I'm scrolling, finding stuff, and like, I'll see something. Either it has engagement or it's something that is personal finance related some way, somehow, which is pretty easy. And I'm like, oh, that's a good one, right? Take a screenshot, and then upload it to ChatGPT and say, give me a caption on this, and I've had enough conversations with ChatGPT where it knows, and usually it's either satire, parody, unless it's something where I want to invoke either thought leadership or a personal story. In that case, I'll upload a ChatGPT and I'll just, hit the record button and, start talking, hey, this one, I want you to actually share a story, and here's the story, I do that maybe like once a day, but for most parts, like, here, give me 5 different captions, give me 5 different first comments to go with it. And that's the process. Then I use a scheduling tool used to use Buffer, but now it's called Post Planner, which allows me to create different buckets of content. And that way I've kind of have like, all right, here's the different time blocks, everything is going out, and I just upload that post, whatever bucket it fits into, and I hit schedule, man. And that is probably 70% of the content that I'm producing is just finding other people's content that either has gone, I won't say viral, but it's gotten decent engagement where I think it's going to resonate with my audience. And that's a big part of it.
Okay, so that post that you've clipped off of Twitter, are you posting the same thing with just different captions? Does that count as a post, or?
Oh, so like I'll take a screenshot of somebody's post, so that's the image.
Right.
And then with that, I'll create my own caption to give commentary on that image.
Right.
That makes sense? Yeah.
It does, yeah. But are you doing variations of that, like same image, like to speed things up, right? I
Oh,
think you mentioned you're posting like 20 times a day, right?
yeah. Well, so that one image. So I mean, I'm finding a lot, right? And the cool thing with uploading it, it's not as easy to do this if you don't use like a scheduling tool, but like using Post Planner with Buffer, like all those things they're in there now, right? And so I can go back. I also should say this out loud. I don't have a VA at the moment, so this is 100% all me. Yes, there's some stupidity in that, and also for me, it was a lot of me wanting to truly understand what's working and why it's working. And also, like with ChatGPT, the caption that I choose, there's a method of the madness, right? Like there's a reason I choose it, right? And right or wrong or indifferent, and could I outsource some of that? Yes, I could, but that would be that missing 20%. And eventually I will, but right now it's just kind of a lot of fun figuring it out. But yeah, so these are all individual screenshots, images that I'm finding. Once they're in Post Planner, I will reschedule, republish them. I'll usually wait. You can't do so like if it's a newsworthy type stuff, obviously it doesn't make sense to republish that. But like, a lot of stuff I find is somewhat evergreen. So yeah, I'll definitely recycle content, and it's basically just, for the most part, just republishing the exact same thing as is. I could tweak, but that's the funny thing, man. Like with Facebook, especially, at least with YouTube, right? Like that video, a video can provide, your views will continue to increase, until it just doesn't make any sense. But like with Facebook, man, the shelf life of 95% of your content is done after 48 hours. I mean, it's just done. Yeah, there are some stuff, like if it's something goes viral or there's a story driven, like, yeah, there's some stuff that will get served, but the majority of it's done. And you also have to assume that your audience, a fraction of your audience actually even saw that. So, my biggest fear initially was like, gosh, I don't, at the time, I think I had 25,000 when I started this. And the thought of like publishing more than 6 times a day was just like, what are people going to think? Are they going to, it's just so funny, right? And now I'm publishing like 24 times a day. It's like,
so you're finding 24 unique pieces of content intermixed with republished stuff a day. And percentage wise, is it mostly new stuff or is it mostly republished stuff?
I would say at this point in time, 90% new.
Wow. Okay. Does that take a lot of time, or are you on Twitter all the time, just in general?
I feel like it, yeah.
Okay.
Like I definitely been monitoring my screen time, where, I try to like guard that time. And it's like, it's funny. It's like I go to pick up my daughter from school. It's cold outside. I get there early just so I can get a close spot. So I'm in the car for like 20 minutes, and I will find on average like 8 to 12 pieces of content, right? Like in that setting, right? Because I'm just like, oh, boop, screenshot, boom, good. And I mean, if you went through my phone right now, I just have so much content, and it's actually kind of a hoarding concern. Because it's like there's just so much content, It's like, right. Okay, at some point I'm like, hey, I got enough. Like I don't really need any more. But
can you do all this from your phone? Like you have a setup now where you can do all this from your phone, or
I can. Obviously, it's just easier to do from a desktop,
Okay.
But yeah, like take a screenshot, upload to ChatGPT, give me the caption, take the screenshot, upload it to Post
That can
Planner.
be all automated though. That's what's like ringing the bells for me.
Oh yeah, eventually 100%, right? Like the only thing that I still like where I need to do some more training is, when you get a caption for ChatGPT, I'm like, okay, this just screams AI, and maybe that's just
Yeah.
having a better prompt, of like the 2 sentence trio of sentences in a row, just like, okay, stop. And also like sometimes it'll just say stuff. I'm like, oh no, that's not me, right? Like I don't, or that's not the direction I wanted you to go. Um, and maybe it'd be fine, right? And maybe if somebody else ran with that, like who cares, like at the end of the day. But yes, 100%. I definitely think it could be automated. And eventually I will 100% get there.
Here's what I'm thinking, Jeff, and you tell me if this isn't. I might try this, which is why I'm asking. You have all these screenshots, right? You throw them in like a bucket on like your Google Drive or Dropbox, whatever.
Yeah.
You click a button, it grabs all those images, and based on a prompt that you specify, it puts everything on like a spreadsheet, like the image plus, the caption. You manually review all the captions on this spreadsheet, and
Yeah.
then you just click go, 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 and they just schedule them out. I
Yeah.
can see that being super fast.
Super fast. 100%.
Like we're talking maybe like half an hour or an hour of work.
Yeah.
All right. So can you just give me an example of a piece of content that went viral with your caption? Anything
Um,
that just strikes your mind.
yeah. One came to mind, but it's a little bit different. And actually, I want to bring this example up because I think it would be really good for you as a type of content that you could create, for your own Facebook page. I did and I found somebody else that did it, right? So it wasn't my idea, but it basically was like think of it as like a long form blog post. And it was talking about the gas station Buc-ee's, which I don't know if you have those in California.
Mm.
Big in our neck of the woods, like Texas, Midwest, right? Like these ginormous gas stations. I have a huge following. So I found a Facebook page that I think he does like business write-ups, right? And it went viral. I'm like, oh, I love Buc-ee's. Okay, let me do my version of it. And had ChatGPT create an image. It didn't even look like the owner, but it was close. Had it rewrite the content, and dude, it went viral. I think that one post I made like over $3,000 off this one post, and I share that because I found a guy who he does something similar. I forgot the content, the guy who actually got the idea from. I need to go back to his page, but a newer guy, right? And I think he's grown to. I think he's almost at 50,000 followers on Facebook. But basically, he just finds an image of an entrepreneur, a business owner, or investor, and he does like long form written content, just about their story, and people love stories, like the story aspect. And he's not posting as much as me, and maybe he posted more he grew, but to go from, I want to say he's almost brand new to 40,000, that could be something that you could do just as a highlighting different entrepreneurs, especially the story. Think of it like the CNBC Make It, but you're doing it on your page.
What is considered long form? Are we talking like a blog post, like a couple thousand words long form?
Anywhere from like 500 to 1,000.
Wow. Okay.
But once again, you're using ChatGPT, right? So it's not like it's
Yeah. No. I'm just thinking like, how sustainable can this possibly be? I mean, especially since you can just repurpose stuff, right? Meaning, you republish. Sorry.
Yeah.
And let's say you took that guy's post verbatim and posted it on your page. Is that like a copyright violation or?
As of right now, I mean, yes, but Facebook would not do anything about it as of right now.
Right.
Which sucks. Right now they've cracked down on like reels, right? So if you actually downloaded somebody else's reel and published it as your own,
that makes sense. Yeah.
That would get you flagged. But that being said, I found somebody that was doing that with my content, right? Like, and they actually took a picture of my wife and I, Mandy and I, like sitting by our pool with our two kids, like two of our kids. And so it's a picture of us and my caption, and published it as their own. And only reason I knew is because Facebook served me the post on my algorithm. And I'm like, So you could do that, but the karma or the Facebook gods, like the algorithm is going to uh, root you out, whatever, right? Like
Right.
you'll get found out, and then that creator can report you, and then that ain't good. So
Yeah.
not recommendable by a stretch. But if you want to try it, you could. And as of right now, like you wouldn't get flagged by Facebook, but you get flagged by somebody else most likely.
So a lot of people listening to this podcast either sell in e-commerce or they're trying to sell a course or a coaching program.
Yeah.
I assume you're not linking anywhere out, right, on any of these posts.
Yeah. So that's it. So I have not. Okay. That's actually a great question and a segue into like kind of part of the strategy going forward is I found a few guys on, I think it was actually on Twitter, saying Twitter here, and they are driving traffic from their Facebook page to their blog, their website. And for them, they're taking advantage of the ad revenue. Like that's what they're trying to do, right?
Right.
And I had a call with a guy who basically runs a Facebook page agency. That's what I'm going to call it. And on the first call we had, he's like, you should be making as much on your website as you are on from Facebook monetization. And I'm like, really? Like, so I'm like, thinking that my website is dead, that there's no way I'm going to be making money from it ever again. But that is part of what they do and how they do it. And so when you look at a Fox News or an independent, one of the ways they do it is like they'll have a really good graphic, to get your attention. And most of the time, I don't know if they do it actually in the caption. I think they usually do it in the first comment.
Right.
To help, I guess that way it doesn't decrease your reach, so to speak. So I don't have anything personal to report on this, but knowing what I've heard and seeing other people and how they do it, there is a way that, you can drop a link in. It's usually suggestible or recommendable is that you don't want more than like 30% of your content. I'm just regurgitating what I've heard.
Sure.
30% of your content to outgoing links. I think 70% keep it in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Then occasionally Facebook is cool, with you doing that.
Okay. So I assume you don't use links though, right? I mean, you're going for like the pure Facebook revenue right now.
Yeah. The only thing that I do is, and I got that from Instagram. I use ManyChat, which is, so where people will comment, whatever the keyword is, mine's stack or FMC to get my Facebook monetization checklist. But yeah, it's interesting because like and that's actually why I reached out to you, because I came across it has nothing to do with e-commerce, but she makes cookies, right? They're political cookies, pretty controversial, but it's still fascinating to see the engagement that she was getting on her Facebook page. And what was intriguing to me was she posted, I don't think she doesn't do it anymore, but she posted her revenue. And I think like one month she made like $2,000 or $3,000 from Facebook. And in addition to that, she was selling out of her cookies. And it was just so fascinating, right? I mean, like, yes, you experience this with YouTube, right? Like you're getting paid from YouTube to advertise your business. Like that's pretty cool, right? But like you're doing videos, like which take a lot of time, and it's not something that you can do 10, 20 times a day, it's not sustainable. But if you could actually create pictures or images of your product or behind the scenes of whatever your service is, and you're like, if I was still a financial advisor, like it just blows my mind that I could be creating content, getting paid to create that content to then drive leads to my business as well, from Facebook.
I mean, this is essentially YouTube, but it's meta.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be videos. Like it can be you taking a screen, like a selfie.
So this is type of post on Facebook that gets me to click every time. And every time I do, it pisses me off, but I still do it. So I follow the Warriors, and in the picture, it'll say like crazy trade rumors, right?
Yeah.
and it'll have a picture of like Steph or Jonathan Kuminga or whoever is on the trade block. And then you actually have to click on the first comment to get the article.
Yeah.
And then you click on the article, and then it's this page with a ton of ads,
Yep.
and it's a rumor that's not even true. But I
Yep.
click on it every time.
I've clicked on that so many damn times. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So now I realize they're probably making money because these posts have tons of engagement, like
Mhm.
the way they've done it. So
Yeah.
they're probably making money off of the Facebook post in addition to the ads on their site, just like what you said.
Yeah.
I never understood how they made money.
That's how. So they're getting, like you said, they're getting paid for the engagement from Facebook.
Right.
And also too, when people click over the ads and get served like 37 ads before they even scroll, that's how they're also making money.
Nuts. Okay, let's. I'm pretty sure the audience is very intrigued by this, and it sounds very straightforward, and it's automatable or semi-automatable. I think pretty easily. Um, how sustainable do you think this is? How long has this been going on for?
I mean, that always, it was the fear for me. It was like, man, I don't want to go all in on this, and it be all of a sudden non-existent. But talking to this guy who runs the agency, like they've been doing this for, I'm going to make up a number here, I forgot, but it's like been 7 years or longer.
Okay, so Facebook has been paying people to post for that long?
Dude, that like, so I had a call with a guy. He's he's a political podcaster, and he found me. We ended up talking, and he's been getting paid from Facebook since 2019.
Wow.
And even with him, he's like, when I started my podcast, like I thought my podcast would be the main revenue driver, with brand deals, whatever, sponsorship, whatever that was. And it's been Facebook. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy to me, right? I mean, 2019, like, wasn't even on the radar, So I mean, he's been making money all this time. What is, like I said, I don't know. All I know is that them rolling everything up into this now monetization, content monetization program. When you log in the professional dashboard and you see the earnings and you see how they're doing it, I see other people that have been making money on TikTok. That's kind of a fear because I think TikTok at one point in time was like paying creators like crazy.
They were, yes.
Right. And then also, there was a time where Threads, when that first launched, they were paying people like, I was getting paid like $500 if I had so many posts hit like so many views. And dude, I could hit that bonus in the first like 3 days. Like it was so easy. And now they don't pay you anything, right?
Yeah.
So there is that fear, but it feels like, man, they're making a big push to get people on here and knowing like that's what they have to do to compete with like the TikToks and the YouTubes and Snapchats or whatever, X. So yeah, I don't know. Like I think like anything, I think it's going to be good for a while. Eventually, then maybe like decrease the earnings, possibly, maybe. But it's so fascinating for me, like right now, for the month of December. Not only do they have the content that I'm getting paid for, the content monetization, but they threw on 3 different bonuses. And one was like 20% on top of whatever I make for the month.
Wow.
That's probably like a December, they call it a holiday bonus. They probably won't do that again until next year if they ever do it again, right? The other one was if you hit so many earnings, we'll give you a bonus. Like probably not going to get that one, So I don't know if that's we're going to tease you, and get you to post a lot, and then you're going to get so damn close and not get it.
Yeah.
But also too, like it does give you an incentive, like, hey, I'm going to try to hit it. And if I don't get this, I don't get the bonus, but I do get paid for because I was creating more content. But then the third bonus was if I get like 2 posts that hit like so much reach, and this one was like $480. I got that one a week ago, hit it. It renewed again for this week. I already hit it. So that's like $1,000 in bonuses just from that one, not including the 20% one. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like
so many things are flying through my mind because we both have kids. Like our kids are not on Facebook. So maybe, and I know when I run ads, Facebook is my top platform because of the demographic. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like anyone who has money is probably on Facebook because we're older, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they're not doing the same thing on Instagram, which is a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe this does have lasting power because Facebook is their platform of old people like us.
It's what it feels like, man. Like if seeing once again, like seeing how everything was kind of just conjoined, like the different performance bonus and ads on reel, like it was all kind of like,
Yeah.
but now like it feels more legit, right? I mean, like you said, like every single day I can see like how much I made on my stories, how much I made on reels, how much I made on images, how much I made on text posts. You can click on any single post and see, how many views did it get, how many followers did you get from that one post. I mean, the reporting is legit, and it's real time. Like I said, I never had that on YouTube. Like, oh well,
Yeah.
I guess you could. I mean, I feel like you had to like really click around and dig, right? Like this is literally like a few clicks and you have access to a lot of data.
Why stop at 20?
Um, I think there is some audience fatigue.
Okay.
But then again, like, but the guy I referenced earlier, so I'm assuming he started like during COVID, he blew up on TikTok and he has almost 4 million followers on Facebook.
Good Lord. Okay.
So I went back when I first started following him, I think it was like 25 a day. And then and the only way to know is like I literally have to scroll and count, right? I'm like, and I think he's posting anywhere from like 50 to 70 times a day now. I'm assuming he has somebody helping him, obviously. And
Sure.
what I noticed, like he is republishing almost the exact same post like every other day sometimes, right? I think he'll go like through a cycle. So yeah, I mean, if you had a team trained well enough to be able to schedule that stuff out and republish, like, yeah, I think you definitely could do it.
Yeah.
But as of right now, since it's me, myself and I, that is like, I tried getting it up to 30 a day and it was a lot to manage. Even republishing stuff, it was a lot for me just by myself. So 24 right now is kind of that sweet spot where I can do it and feel sustainable as of right now.
So given that it's 24, does that imply that you're posting once an hour?
Yes, but like I only post like at 3. Do I still do 3 a.m.? 3 and 6 a.m. So like I'm not anything from 12 to 3. There's nothing going live, and 3 to 6 I only got one. So for the most part, and then there's occasionally I'll throw a text post in like every half hour.
I see. Dude, Jeff, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people listening here who want to get started. I know you have something that you whipped up. And I'm going to sign up right after this, actually. You want to share it?
Yeah, no, it's one of those where, you start doing something. And actually a good friend of ours, Bob Loddick, reached out to me and he had no idea that I was making money from Facebook. He just saw that. So when I started this, I had around 25,000 followers. As of right now, like I'm almost at 400,000. It's weird to say, but just this week, my Facebook follower count passed my YouTube subscribers.
Crazy.
And it's just like, it's weird. It's like, did it? No, I don't know. It's weird. It's also kind of sad, right? Because YouTube was the thing, and I guess Facebook is the thing, but still, like, I was so proud of like the YouTube subscribers, so it feels weird the face. And I know it's two totally different platforms, but anyway, he had reached out to me and he just saw like how much my following had grown, so he's like, man, what are you doing? And so we were just like texting, and then I mentioned like, yeah, and by the way, like I'm also like, I'm getting paid, and he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're getting paid? And I sent him a screenshot and he's like, wait, what? That's from Facebook? Like Facebook pays you? And I had several of those conversations of like, okay, I know there's people out there like me that have no idea that this even exists. So let me put together a course that shows not only how to do it, but also kind of the method behind the madness, how I'm doing it, how I'm scheduling things out, how I'm using ChatGPT. So yeah, created the course, get paid to post, and put on a whopping price tag of $97, just because I want to create something where I'm like, hey, low barrier entry for people that want to get in, just go through it and then start taking action.
What's the URL? I actually Googled and I couldn't find it.
What's up?
What's the URL?
It is under jeffandmandyrose.com/.
Okay, Jim. Okay. See, you
Something, I
can
don't
tell
know.
this isn't planned. This is not a promotional podcast, by the way. Jeff doesn't even know the freaking URL of his. I will post it. Hold on. jeffandmandyrose.com.
I don't even know the URL.
Actually, if I go to Jeff and Mandy Rose, it's Mandy's class, not yours.
Well, she has hers.
But
God,
hers is the front. Okay, hold on. You know what? Okay, I will.
it is jeffandmandyrose.com/get dash pay dash to dash post.
Okay,
That's
got
going
it.
to drive so many sales.
Okay, I'm going to post this link in the show notes. Trust me, guys, if you're listening to this, this is not like this was probably not even intentional. He probably didn't even know I was going to ask. I just knew about it because I was interested in this. So I will post the link in the show notes because clearly Jeff was not prepared to sell anything today. But Jeff, this is pretty amazing stuff, man. I've known you for a long time. We've been blogging buddies forever. I want to say since like 2013, maybe
When
2012,
did you start your blog? Like, when did you actually launch it? Do you remember?
2009.
Okay, yeah. It was like the same year. That's funny. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I didn't meet you, I don't think, until FinCon, maybe?
Right. It was several years after that.
Yeah, something like that. And I guess now it's all coming full circle. We're going to be Facebook buddies now. But if you guys are listening out there, I will post this in the show notes. And this almost, honestly, Jeff, sounds a little too good to be true. So I'm probably going to dip my toes in the water, kind of like you did last year, and just see where this goes.
Dude, I'm the same way, man. Like I didn't believe it. Sometimes I still don't. Like I just recorded a video pretty recently, where I said, matter of factly, like this year, I will make almost $200,000 just from Facebook monetization. And that's from me finally going all in like in April, May. So it's like, okay, 2026 seems like it's going to be a fun year, especially with like the big strategy for me going into the new year is like, how do I actually drive traffic to the blog? And then, whether it could be affiliates as well. I actually don't even want to mess with affiliates. Just I might change my mind on that. But if I can just drive traffic and just let ad revenue do its thing, like it's just so much easier to do, So yeah, like 2026, man, like there's like a lot of fun potential here to see what happens.
And I want to do this for my e-commerce store. Like there's so much room for funny captions for the stuff I sell because you can write whatever you want in a hanky.
Yeah.
And I can just write some weird stuff on the hanky and have interesting captions. And that would probably drive people to the store as well. Like there's a lot of possibilities here.
Yeah, like especially like if you had hankies with like funny captions, almost like a meme, but it's like it's your product, like people will share that. And the cool thing is like you do it once and maybe it doesn't work or maybe it does. Guess what? A month from now or whatever, you can repost the same dang thing and it continues to serve the same purpose.
I mean, this will be really easy. What's funny is I've been like on the fence about launching a TikTok channel for my store because like it doesn't make sense for a middle-aged Chinese dude to be hawking like wedding stuff. It should be my wife, but she wants no part of it. I actually started a YouTube channel for Bumblebee Linens and I recorded like 11 videos. I still haven't launched it yet, where I was going to talk about some of the love stories of the people who bought our stuff. I'm probably going to go live with that next year, but this sounds just like 20 times easier.
Yeah.
And my face doesn't have to be on it.
I've wanted to do like reaction style videos, like just because I've got the setup, it feels like I should be doing that. And I just tried one, it was a clip that went viral, gave my reaction to it. And I think it actually just went live like last week. I think it got like 20,000 views. I'm like, dang, like, gosh, I want to do that. But then again, I could find a screenshot on Twitter, and I post that and it gets like 1 million views. It's like, okay, all right, Facebook, I hear it. And there might be some transition to where they will start rewarding people doing longer form content. Maybe, like maybe it still makes sense to do that for like, having the YouTube channel, like thought leadership and just, maybe that still makes sense. But as far as like what I'm getting paid for, like it just does not make good financial sense to do that.
And with that pun, we will end this episode. Jeff, thanks a lot for coming back on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.